Extreme Collectibles here. Star Wars Episode 12. Not the actual Episode 12, but Episode 12 in regards to our 12th statue video. So, I say so a lot. So, suck my toe all the way to Mexico. My kids still say that, I think. I said it when I was young. I'm tired. It's going to be a bad review, so buckle up. Extreme Collectibles here. Pretty excited that I got one of my personal, I don't want to say grail, but one I've been searching for a long time. It is Sideshow's premium format Yoda vs. Clone Trooper. This is from Episode 3, one of the worst Star Wars movies out there. And it's so disappointing too, because not only am I think Vader's probably the most iconic villain of all time, but I also think his transformation could have been so much cooler. And, in the movie they portrayed it, I want to save my wife. So yes, master, I'll do anything you say. I'm now the dark side. So stupid. But there were a few redeeming parts of the movie. Hopefully I live to see when they do the remakes, because they will. They remake everything. But Sideshow Collectibles, Yoda vs. Clone Trooper, premium format. This came out about 10 years ago, probably right after the movie did. And it's just a badass piece. They made 1,500 of these. Their original retail was $350, and it goes for about twice that now. And let's do some quick measurements. So he's approximately 18 and a half tall. The width of the base is about 9-inch diameter. It's probably a little bit wider because Yoda jets out. Base is one piece. Clone Trooper minus his left arm with the gun is another piece. Yoda is one piece, and then the lightsaber blade is one piece. It actually goes directly through. It's not two pieces, which is kind of neat. There is a light up feature too. If you push Yoda's belly button or his crotch, either way, it's good. The lightsaber lights up. It doesn't carry all the way through. It does if you turn out all the lights, but cool little Easter egg in there. Man, it's a lot bigger down there than you think when you push. I didn't expect that on Yoda. That's why he's the Master Jedi. So this is from, as I said, the third movie where Palpatine, the Emperor, Darth Sidious, executes Order 66 for all the clone troopers to kill all the Jedi throughout the galaxy. And Yoda's too smart. He feels something in the Force, and he turns around. And I don't think this scene actually happened. I think this is conceptual. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't really care to watch the movie again. I will someday, but I don't think he actually... I know he chopped some heads off and stuff like that. He may do this, but if not, if it is from the movie, great. If not, cool-ass idea, whoever thought of this. So... very happy to get this piece. He's going to go with the other Star Wars. Go check out all those other 11 episodes. And my Star Wars empire is building. Yeah. And I think I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 more on order for sure. Plus some old ones I'm searching for, like Gamorrean Guard. But let's just, we kind of already talked about the concept, but just kind of a recap here. So from Episode 3... the base is some generic type base, which we're going to talk about in the paint and sculpt. So there's nothing fancy going on there, but it's okay. And as you move up, the clone trooper is in a position where he's actually, falling to his knees. Whenever someone dies, they fall to their knees anytime they're shot in the head or they're shot in the heart or lightsabered through the heart. And, he's about to drop his gun, it looks like, and Yoda's on top. He jumped on him, he stabbed him through. And one really cool thing, you can't really tell, and there's no way to show it in the pictures, but Yoda's looking him dead in the eyes. I think that's a really cool detail. It's like, what were you going to do, mother? Huh? I think I dropped the F-bomb. YouTube flagged it as inappropriate content. So, which is so weird because Comedy Central, FX, and one other local public network in the States now drop F-bombs all the time. It's just going to be the norm pretty soon. So really cool concept. It's an action dynamic piece, dynamic pose, action pose. Really, really neat, and it's awesome. It's really cool. And paint and sculpt on this, especially for an older piece, I think is really good actually. I think there's obviously a lot of opportunity, and sometimes the sculpt is really good, and I think nowadays sculpts can be, for the most part, they're much better because there's a lot better programming out there. And I don't know if this was digitally sculpted back in the day. I don't know what things were like 10 years ago or 9 years ago, whenever this came out. But starting at the base, so like a lot of the Star Wars pieces, kind of has this black, almost enamel, shiny, round part on the sides, which really doesn't mean anything. They could have done a little bit more. I think it was on Kashyyyk where they started attacking Yoda on Chewbacca's planet, maybe added some vegetation. And same with the top of the base. There's some really cool texture on this, and I like some of the stones and pebbles, but it doesn't really tell a story. So the sculpt is good, but I just don't understand it. And of course there's that nasty seam line that obviously was a production issue that they had to put in there. So I think some missed opportunity, more with the concept, to tell more of the story. But honestly, on this piece, I don't think you have to, because there's so much cool story going on above. Just my opinion. That's all my reviews are, if you didn't catch on. Of course, some are facts, like there are 1,500 of these made. That's not my opinion. Moving on to, first we're going to do the Trooper, and then we're going to do Yoda, and because, you know, different portraits, different bodies. So starting with the Trooper, his boots, I like his boots a lot. I think the coloring is a little bit off because there's nothing else. It shows kind of all this wear and dirt. You think that would be the same on the rest of the body too. So I think it's a little too dirty, if you ask me. But I do like the stitching and the threads and the buckles, and then the folds look really good. One thing is there is absolutely no tread on the bottom, which you would think that they would need tread for running, otherwise they'd slip all over the place. Then moving on to his armor, I like it a lot. I like it does have some of that black fading color just to make it look dirty, so it's not a brand new Stormtrooper, and some of the paint on the blue stripes looks faded, so it's a trooper that's been around for a while, which I believe the ones near Yoda were kind of like generals, so that makes sense. And then kind of that rubber that's underneath the suit, I'm glad they didn't go mixed media. It is sculpted, that black rubber type look there. It looks really cool. And there's some good texturing. I think that's done very well. Like I said, it looks like mixed media, and it's not. He has the knee pads right there too. Very similar, some cool straps and buckles on the backs of those. And then looking at his belt, I think they could have added some more colors to the handles and the switches on there to make this pop, but it may not have been movie accurate. I like all the pouches and compartments that they have. Looks good, but like I said, I think a little more color would have done it better. He has the power pack on the back that all Stormtroopers do. His arms, a lot of the same in a good way. The same armoring with some faded black color on top of that off-shade white. You can see the rubber suit underneath it. His gloves look excellent, that same black rubber color. Some good sculpt to them on the gloves. You can see some folds in there. Blaster looks cool. Again, it has kind of that faded, rusted look, and if you're looking at right here, he's dropping the gun. I like how they were able to incorporate that and sculpt it on there. Some good detail. Again, I think they should have added a color or two to make it pop. His shoulder blades, really worn. Again, kind of indicative that this guy's been around for a long time and through some fights. Looking at where the blade comes out of the back, I really like this. There's all this blue paint, and I don't know if I bought this second hand on eBay, so I don't know if that is normal. I don't understand the meaning behind it, how it's speckled like that, but right around where the blade comes through, there's this black paint to make it look like a burn mark, which is awesome. And that's the same on the front in his chest where it's going in. Really, really cool. And then I love his portrait. I think it looks really good. They did a lot of detail and some really cool paint, and some of the paint's faded like the rest of it, and some of it's not. Some cool switches, and then his visor and mouth guard. Looks awesome. Really good job. Then looking at Yoda's clothes first, I actually like this mixed media, and it's rare that I do. Not only the way it feels, but it's really well done. Both his jacket and then kind of his onesie that he's wearing, and the Velcro belt. And his clothes come off because that's where the batteries are. The batteries are actually in the back for the lightsaber, because it's just the hilt that the light comes out of. And then, like I said, on the front, if you touch his nether regions, which it's okay, even though he's small, he's not a child. He's, you know, in this movie, he's probably 850 years old. So it's, well, I guess it's not okay to touch an elder person either. It's probably not okay to touch anybody unless they consent. Yeah, write that down. So back to Yoda though. Really cool looking feet, classic Yoda feet. Does it if you pull up his pants, which I'm not going to do in the pictures here, it doesn't look like he has any ankles, so that's kind of strange. His hands are done fantastic. Lots of cool coloring and age, and his nails have that older Yoda type look. Very, very cool. The hilt of the lightsaber is okay, but it's so small it's kind of hard to get some detail in there. And then his portrait, I think this is an awesome Yoda portrait. Like I said, his eyes are staring right at the stormtrooper. So much detail, and there's some cool texturing on the skin. I think his hair in the back could have been done better, but his ears and the expression on his face and his pursed lips, really cool sculpt, and lots of different greens and blacks they put in there. Awesome, awesome job. So really excited I got this piece. I was debating the new Iron Studios Yoda where he's lifting the X-Wing, or is that an A-Wing? Whatever it is, X-Wing, out of the swamp. But I think this will suffice for one Yoda piece. I'm going to try and cut down and only get one of each character moving forward, other than my top 5 favorites, which, yeah, so... really appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that bell. Please hit subscribe. Let me know what you think of this piece. Let me know your favorite Yoda statue that's out there, any size. I do have a life-size one over there, so a custom one. But really appreciate you guys watching, and take care.